Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Attackfang here, bringing you a very interesting game, IPL 4 Las Vegas, between Team Monomaniac and Team Dignitas. Monomaniac just absolutely trying hard to get into it, made the online qualifier, a very new team, beating out Team M5 to be able to make it to this main event, and also taking out TSM during the Killing Spree qualifiers as well. Just a very strong overall early team, and Team Dignitas being one of the strongest teams out in North America, being one of the top three next to CLG and TSM. So it's going to be very interesting to watch this game between these two teams. And looking at the bans for Team Monomaniacs, we have Karthus, Kog'Maw, and Ryze. Karthus and Ryze being targeted towards Scarra just because of how well he's able to play those champions that scale really well into mid-late game. And we have the Kog'Maw ban directed at AmaCutiePie because AmaCutiePie does really well with the Kog'Maw and with the Corki pick. So it would be really interesting to see now that Kog'Maw is banned if they do go early Corki. And looking at Paradoxical, he's going to probably make a quick selection here, and he picks the Lee Sin. Lee Sin just being absolutely strong in the laning phase and top, and also very strong in the jungle. And Voyboy does really well with the aggressive type of top lane. So it pretty much takes a pick away from him, just having his Lee Sin that he generally goes up top, just being picked against him. And looking at Dignitas' bans, we have Udyr, Urgot, and Cassiopeia. All very strong. Udyr being one of the strongest top laners as well, and can counter Lee Sin pretty hard just from the sustain that he gets from Turtle Stance and the damage that he gets from Tiger Stance as well. So just a great ban overall. Very strong in the jungle. One of the fastest clears and one of the top 4 junglers in my opinion. Next to Nocturne, Dr. Mundo, and Shyvana. And we have the Urgot ban bottom lane. Very aggressive early gamer. They might be seeing them go a late game champion here. For AD bot, and Cassiopeia being one of the strongest mid laners, just absolutely dealing so much damage, and especially when you get it into a person like Paradoxical's hands, he just absolutely utilizes it as much as possible, just getting as much DPS as possible, and I don't think Scarra wants to deal with that. Voyboy coming out with the Olaf pick, and Scarra with the Corki pick. Scarra is giving that probably to AmaCutiePie. AmaCutiePie is one of the best Corkis in the game. Revolutionized the Black Cleaver build for Corki, and just being absolutely dominant using Corki. And Voyboy, especially with the Olaf, you could be seeing him in the jungle, most likely top. Olaf using Reckless Swing, using Vicious Strikes and using Undertow, just having so much sustain and so much damage in the early game, and mid-late game, and late game. Just being able to be so dominant, but look for Paradoxical to use that advantage early that you might have with, Resonating Strike and with Iron Will and Safeguard. Just going to be able to sustain early a lot better against Voyboy than Voyboy is going to be able to do with his level 1 Vicious Swings. And Pixel 3 and Zion Spartan pick two very interesting picks. Janna is one of the best supports in the game, just being able to have 3 different types of CCs with Monsoon, with Howling Gale, and with Zephyr, and also with Eye of the Storm, just going to be able to put that shield and the AD bonus that goes along with it onto the AD carry, whoever they seem to choose. And I'm not 100% sure about the Zion Spartan pick with Fizz in mid lane, because Scar didn't really pick his mid lane yet. And we do have the quick switch to Riven. Riven can be very, very strong. I think Riven might belong into the jungle or actually go top. Zion Spartan does very, very well with Riven. He does do a lot in solo queue. If you actually watch the streams that have been going out with some of the top players in the game, you will see that Zion Spartan does do very well as Riven, sometimes as jungle, sometimes as top lane. So it would be interesting to see if he trades with someone else like Nintendo X to go jungle. One of these two is going to end up going jungle, Riven or Lee Sin, and the other one's going to end up going top lane against Olaf. And with Dignitas' picks, we have Locust picking up Kutarik, and we have I Will Dominate picking up that Mundo. Mundo being, again, one of the strongest junglers. He's just going to be able to do so much in the jungle, especially with the changes that they made pre-Hanover here, pre-IPL Las Vegas, just when he gets that Burning Agony, that he only loses 10 HP a second, which is so strong for Mundo because he doesn't have to waste all 5 of his health potions just trying to clear one part of the jungle. So he's going to be able to keep jungling and just keep clearing with those ridiculously fast clear times with Burning Agony. It starts out with 55 magic damage a second, which is huge. And Locust with Taric pick, Taric and Corki are just going to be able to do so much damage in the lane. Corki just going to be able to get a Phosphorus Bomb auto attack off, while Locust is able to get the Dazzle onto either Zig or onto Pixel. Just going to be able to do a lot of damage since they don't have any sustain. They're going to try to outpoke him. And Zig's coming with the Graves pick. Graves is very strong against Corki. Graves, in fact, kind of counters Corki a little bit. Just going to be able to get the extra burst with the Buckshot and going to be able to quick draw away from the Phosphorus Bombs if he's able to time it enough, or if he is able to time away from the Dazzle. And Nintendo X is waiting the pick Wonder what's going to make this pick, to complete the team, because right now they have a lot of early game. They don't really have a lot of late game because we have Riven. Lee Sin does fall off late game, and Graves does not scale as well as some of the other AD carries, but he scales just fine against Corki. Overall, they just do very well. You could be seeing Scar go the early Black Cleaver like he usually goes, or you could be seeing him go Trinity Force or go BT, just depending on Infinity Edge, just depending on, how the matchups go. Chances are he might be going that BT because he just absolutely loves that BT, especially with the Gatling gun that he has. It does reduce the armor of champions around, and if you add a BT on top of that, it just reduces it to almost where Corki is doing true damage to you, which will be absolutely detrimental to the team. And the last pick here with Morgana, a strong pick. We haven't seen a Morgana here in a little bit. Takashi X does rock the Morgana. He is really strong with it, but overall in this tournament, we have not seen many Morganas, mainly because, the teams have been kind of straying away from Morgana, just being able to pick Janna all the time and just kind of using Monsoon to get away from Morgana's ultimate, and wondering what Scar will pick as against Morgana to lane against. And we can see the Soraka pick. Scar is going to go Soraka. This is going to be very, very fun to watch. Scar on Soraka has been so amazing so far this tournament. Just going to be able to star call everything and just get infused and just keep hitting the Spartan, but keep hitting Paradoxical and just dealing so much damage to Paradoxical on Morgana. Just going to be absolutely just melting him away with Star Call, because Star Call does reduce magic resist, and Infuse is absolutely free, so he doesn't have to worry about mana, just getting that in. And Astral Blessing and Wish will just be able to sustain him consistently in lane. The only thing he has to worry about is the pushing against Morgana, because he could get ganked really easily by Nintendo X on Riven, because he can go in there and get the key burst and just do so much damage. And it's very fun comps for both teams. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do. We're going to get out of this champion select and we're going to go into the game. So thank you for watching right now, and hopefully we're going to have a very fun time watching these two teams, Mono Esports and Team Dignitas. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.